7 months have passed since the green poison outbreak and the events that unfolded in New York City. Division agents have continued on with their mission of saving what remains across the United States, when suddenly their lifeline was severed. The SHD network, the backbone of their advanced technology and communications, goes dead, quickly followed by the backup protocol of a distress call that summons all agents to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Agents from outside of DC make their way to the capital. Fighting through the city, they come across what remains of the city's joint task force, who have set up their base of operations in the White House. SHD coordinators on site, filling the agents of what's happening throughout the city. 3 hostile factions are fighting for control. The Hyenas, a group that is composed of several gangs who have come together as one under the leadership of a council to take advantage of the chaos that is unfolding. The Outcasts, a group made up of survivors from the Roosevelt Island quarantine zone. Their goal? To enact revenge on those responsible for their mistreatment and to the society that allowed it to happen. And the True Sons, a powerful group of ex-JTF who have lost faith in the government's ability to bring control to the situation at hand. The division agents get to work finding the fault to restore the SHD network, but before they can achieve this, new information comes to light. Somewhere in the city, there may in fact be a cure to the virus that started it all, but also that the previously assumed dead President Ellis may have survived the crash of Air Force One. While clearing out areas throughout the city, the agents find intel on Ellis's whereabouts, and that he's been held captive by the Hyenas. The division managed to clear the hostiles and extract him via helicopter. Back at the White House, Ellis confirms that there is in fact a cure, but not just for the green poison, but all viral infections. However, he is unable to access it without his briefcase, and this was on Air Force One when it went down. The briefcase was in the possession of the True Sons, and they were holding it in their HQ at the US Capitol building. President Ellis ordered the agents to do what it takes to cleanse the city of these hostile forces and return his briefcase. However, the division weren't strong enough to be able to tackle this challenge just yet. First things first, they located the fault in the network and restored power to the Strategic Homeland Division and their agents. From here, they set forth clearing hostiles and pushing them back to their respective strongholds. Upon removing the Hyenas from the District Union Arena, the Outcasts from Roosevelt Island, and then the True Sons from the US Capitol building, the division had now eliminated all hostile leadership, leaving the factions in a state of disarray. But also, they had found Ellis's briefcase. While the agents and the JTF celebrated their progress towards regaining control of the capital, a force that had been lurking in the shadows suddenly made themselves known. The technologically advanced private military company called the Black Tusk launched a full invasion of the city. Landmarks and strategic points throughout the city were quickly brought under Black Tusk control, and it was during this time that President Ellis suddenly disappeared. It was revealed that the Black Tusk had been watching the progress of the dollar flu outbreak for some time, including the actions of the Strategic Homeland Division. Division agents soon found out that it was this new hostile force that was responsible for the SHD network being taken down, and that they had been planning this invasion since the outbreak first occurred. The Black Tusk had, in very quick succession, completely undone all of the progress that the division had made up until now. Unwavered, the agents, against all odds, once again fought through. It was discovered that President Ellis had actually handed over the antivirals to the Black Tusk, and that they had been working together, and in fact had something to do with the death of the last president that had him put into power. The antivirals were being held at the Black Tusk Tidal Basin headquarters. The agents launched an attack and managed to fight through the technologically superior forces, regaining control of the antivirals. Washington, D.C. is once again in a state of mayhem, with the 3 original hostile factions, although without their original leaders, fighting for control. And now a new, more powerful faction attempting to establish a new dynasty to lead the country into a new era. President Ellis has been located. He is found to be hiding out at the presidential retreat, Camp White Oak. Under heavy guard by Black Tusk forces, the JTF and the division assault the compound in an attempt to arrest Ellis and bring him back for questioning. Unfortunately, before they could reach him, he managed to escape. His whereabouts are currently unknown. The division agents then turn their attention to the Pentagon. They have received a transmission from an agent close by. The agent was scouting the DARPA labs to see if they had succeeded in developing a perfusion bioreactor. With this device, they would be able to produce large quantities of the broad-spectrum antivirals and start to distribute them across the population. However, they weren't the only ones looking for it. A large Black Tusk operation was underway. They were attempting to dig down through the Pentagon and extract the bioreactor. But the division agents managed to put a stop to this, in turn killing dozens of Black Tusk officers. The perfusion bioreactor is now being kept at the White House, along with the broad-spectrum antivirals. The next step towards creating a cure requires the agents to find someone capable of running such an undertaking, someone with experience in this field. The division received intel on the whereabouts of a former agent who was at the top of their most wanted list. Aaron Keener has finally resurfaced after disappearing months ago, last seen in New York City. Keener has made a deal with the Black Tusk unit that is stationed on Coney Island. He is planning on trading Vitaly Tronenko in exchange for a favor that he'll call upon at a later date. Tronenko is a virologist that has ties to the creator of the dollar flu, Dr. Gordon Amherst. The division saw this as a great opportunity. Keener is the man behind countless deaths of JTF and SHD agents, and the leader of the initial rogue agent uprising. And Tronenko is the perfect candidate to run the bioreactor. The situation was too good to let slip by. Aware they could be running into a trap, the division launched an operation to rescue Tronenko and capture Keener. Despite heavy Black Tusk presence, they managed to extract the Russian scientist. To their surprise, an old foe had joined the fight, the Cleaners. The Black Tusk suffered heavy losses at the hands of both the Cleaners and the division agents. They were forced to retreat. A distress call was received from the division command in Lower Manhattan. City Hall has been attacked. Agents from Washington make their way to New York. Through video surveillance, it is found that a group of rogues led by Aaron Keener were the ones responsible. The attack had left the building completely destroyed and contaminated by a new unknown virus that Keener had acquired from Vitaly Tronenko before they parted ways. The hunt for Aaron Keener was on. The division agents set up a base in a local settlement called Haven, where the local commanding agent, Fei Lau, got to work compiling clues on Keener's whereabouts. With all that had happened over the last few months in New York, with countless once loyal agents going rogue, faith in the division was at an all-time low. Agents would have to regain the trust of the remaining population if they were to succeed. One by one, the agents located and eliminated Keener's rogue lieutenants. Through each encounter, they found new clues and intel on Keener's whereabouts, including his plans to reset society. Keener had set himself up on Liberty Island. His plan was to launch a ballistic missile that was filled with his new weaponized virus on Manhattan. The agents board a ferry and make their way to Liberty Island, but before they make it there, they are attacked by the Black Tusk, who have also learned of Keener's location and are trying to get to him before the division does. They sent ground forces to stop Keener, including a Marauder-class quadcopter, warhounds, and a Razorback missile launcher, but the division agents managed to push through and overwhelm their forces. It was now just the agents and Keener. Even with his new, more advanced SHD tech, Keener was no match for the division agents. They managed to destroy the missile launcher containing the virus and heavily wound Keener. He escaped to the pier, but his injuries proved too much. Division agents caught up to him, and before they could stop him, he activated something on his watch, something he called his legacy. With his dying breaths, he laughed at the agents, telling them that they have no idea what's coming, before dying shortly after. It was at this time, broadcasted through Keener's watch, that the Division discovered that the acting commander of the Division in New York, Fei Lau, had gone rogue and was working with the Black Tusk. Before the events at City Hall, Keener had spent some time recruiting. He was building an army of rogue agent cells, each tasked with their own mission. This group of rogues were all aligned through Keener's own version of the SHD network, called Anna. The first cell was headed by an agent going by the call sign, Jupiter. With her team of rogues, supported by the Cleaners, running a distraction in Washington DC, she was able to secure a newly developed EMP technology from a cargo plane that had crashed on Roosevelt Island. This new technology was able to neutralize all non-rogue SHD tech and completely remove an agent's armor. Jupiter's mission was to capture this tech, get it operational, and ship it out to rogue agents nationwide. This would cripple the remaining SHD agents around the country. However, the Division was able to overwhelm her forces and react faster than Jupiter was prepared for. On Roosevelt Island, she ordered the Cleaners to utilize all available EMP jammers to put a stop to the fast approaching agents. But it was too late. The Division pushed through the defenses, destroying the EMPs, and found themselves face to face with Jupiter. And eventually, after a long battle, the agents put a stop to her plans, killing her in the process. Unfortunately for the Division, this would be just the first of a potentially large number of rogue cells that the Division would face in the months to come. This has been a roundup of the Division 2 story, covering the first year and half of year 2. We know there is more coming, so I'll probably update this video sometime in the future. Obviously, there's a lot more depth that the story goes into, and for more information you can see a lot of these videos in the description. If you are new to the Division, and maybe only started playing when the Division 2 came out, I have another video that covers the story from the original game, and how it leads into the Division 2. There should be a link on screen now. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!